Hi guys, it's Boo here, and today I'm on my Resto Shaman, and I want to share a little tip or trick that I've got for incorporating a DPS spell into Vuhdo. So some of the healing classes use a combination of DPS spells as well as healing spells. If I'm playing a DPS class, most of my DPS spells are on keybinds on my left hand, but when I'm healing, most of my stuff is done through Vuhdo on my right hand and my mouse. So for me, I find that awkward, keep switching back and forward between the two. So what I like to have is my DPS spells and my healing spells both controlled by my mouse through Vuhdo. So if you're playing something like Resto Shaman, Elemental Blast is a DPS spell which you're probably going to be using on cooldown. If you're, say, a priest, there are spells like Offensive Penance, Smite, Solace, all DPS spells and all things that you're going to use as part of your, for want of a better word, rotation. Now, if I just bring Vuhdo up, if I just use the usual spell, Elemental Blast, and so it's on the mouse wheel up. If I try and even with the enemy targeted, when I scroll up on the mouse wheel on myself, obviously I don't cast Elemental Blast. And it's the same with the other players, because they're friendly players, you're not going to be able to cast a DPS spell on them. So what you do, you create another macro. So go into your macros. So this is mine already set up, but if you was going to make a new one, you go new, type in the name of it, so Elemental Blast 2, and you can pick an icon, but because you've got a show tooltip, it's going to default anyway. So let's just do the question mark and OK. So now I can put in the macro. So it's Elemental Blast, target enemy, and then cast Elemental Blast, and you just save it. So let's just get rid of that since I've already got it. So this is the one I did earlier, so to speak. So once you've got that macro, all you do is you left click on it and drag it and put it in there. And now you can see it actually says macro. Go into your tools and just save it. Close that down. Now this time, even without anything targeted, if I do a mouse wheel up on myself, or on, if there's obviously in a group, there'd be sort of 20 names here, it automatically casts Elemental Blast and it finds a target for me. Alternatively, I can target something by clicking on it, and then when Elemental Blast is off cooldown, mouse wheel up again and it fires it off. And for me, I just find that just feels more natural. So without my left hand even on the keyboard, I can use my right hand on the mouse. I can do, say, a Riptide. I could put a shield on. I can do healing waves, chain heal, and then mouse scroll up, and then straight back into my healing wave again. And for me, that just feels natural. It just feels like the DPS spell is part of my healing rotation. So lots of healing waves, and then scroll mouse wheel up. And the nice thing with this macro is obviously it targets the enemy, so even if I haven't got anything actually targeted myself, it'll auto-target. And I just find this really handy. So I hope perhaps it helps somebody. Thanks for watching. Take care.